Have you ever seen a giant? These 11 men are about to try to pull one apart. This was filmed in 1976 to showcase a man who would soon be known as the eighth wonder of the world. A mythic figure standing at 7'4" and weighing over 550 pounds. Just 12 years earlier, he was a farmer in the middle of nowhere. He had a different name.
Jean Ferré, en plein travail.
Ouais.
Quel âge avez-vous?
19 ans.
He had no way of knowing what laid ahead. The battles, the fame, the heartbreaks, and the secrets he'd be forced to carry while everyone watched.
The single most extraordinary athlete of this or any other generation, you've got to agree with me.
He was the biggest and greatest superstar this business has ever known and ever will know.
The eighth wonder of the world, André the Giant.
Was it always apparent that you were going to be tall? Did you know you were going to be
Quand il était tout bébé, il a été beau, oui. Il était normal.
I don't know I'm going to be tall because my mother is 5'2", my father is 6'2".
Vous êtes russe d'origine, probablement.
Mon père est bulgare, ma mère est polonaise.
So you are part Polak, part Bulgarian, you are all French.
Votre père est cultivateur.
Oui.
He lived in a little town, Molienne.
C'était un petit village, tout le monde se connaissait.
They put a sign up, population was 27 and it was 30 if Andre came home.
There's a lot of conflicting information about Andre out there. I'll be reading from this book, which is likely to be the most accurate account available. Let's dive in. Maurice and Marianne were not a family of means. Putting food on the table was a priority. At Christmas, there were no toys. The Roussimoff kids would get oranges.
Of course, we had to work a lot because at that time we didn't have a lot of money. So on Thursdays with my brother, we had to cut wood to heat the house.
Just like his dad, Andre was expected to be a farmer, but he dreamed of something else.
Quand j'étais enfant, mon rêve c'était de voyager dans le monde entier. One time I was working in the farm with my father and I saw that guy come to see my boss, and he come with a Rolls Royce with a chauffeur. That time I was 11 years old. I said to my dad, someday I will get a car like this. And he said, quit dreaming, keep working. And I said to my father, I said, I don't want to live in a farm all my life. I want to do something different. I want to be somebody. And that time my father agreed with that. He said, okay. He said, hey, if you want to leave, just go. He said, well, I'll give you 2 weeks and you'll be back.
Then, Andre started growing.
At what stage in your life did you realize you were going to be a big boy?
When I first started going to school, I realized I was bigger than the other kids.
Il paraît qu'à 12 ans, vous pesiez déjà 200 livres et puis vous faisiez 6 pieds.
À 12 ans, je faisais 6 pieds 5.
6 pieds 5.
Ma mère a commencé à avoir peur parce qu'elle a dit qu'il n'arrêtera jamais, quoi.
My mother went to see the doctor, but he told her that it was normal. He didn't find anything wrong, and my father was not worried about that.
Father started to talk to me and he said, don't worry. He said, my father was 7'8", so you'll probably be the same size.
Your grandfather was 7'8"?
Yes. Oh my goodness. 14 years old, I'm 6'10", 6'11". J'ai commencé à faire du sport, j'ai commencé à jouer au rugby. J'ai réalisé que si je restais dans ce sport-là, je pourrais pas voyager parce qu'il faut que je fasse partie de l'équipe. J'aurais pas pu voyager de la manière que j'aurais voulu voyager. I finished school at 14 years old.
Andre thought he didn't need more education in order to start working on the farm. He worked for a few years, riding tractors, laboring in the fields, harvesting. Legends of the big boy started spreading across the region. Stories of a teenager so tall he drove around town with his head sticking out of the car roof. A young man so strong he could lift his brother's car to change a tire. Someone so massive the army turned him away because no uniform could fit him. These legends made their way to a tourist passing by the region. Robert Legia. He was a wrestling promoter. He saw money in Andre's size and offered to train him in Paris.
When I left my family, I told him, I said, look, if I make some money, you see me again. But if I don't make any money, you never see me again.
Vous avez quitté la maison, puis vous êtes monté sur Paris.
In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Paris, France was the center of Greco-Roman wrestling.
What did you work at when you left?
Oh, I did everything.
Yeah?
Everything. And
all at once, I suppose. Yeah.
always.
He was working during the week and he was wrestling in the evenings and almost every Sunday.
Life wasn't easy. Andre told his brother Jacques that sometimes he slept in a metro station, having nowhere else to go.
Jean Ferré. Soufflez, respirez. Vous n'y avez pas fait trop de mal?
Ça sert à rien quand même.
Mais dites-moi, vous tirez à quel poids?
Moi, 140 kilos.
Pour quand le début?
Demain après-midi à 15h30 à l'autorité.
Bonne chance et je vous laisse vous entraîner.
As you just heard, André adopted the name of Géant Ferré. That's a reference to a French folklore hero who was said to be a laborer of massive stature and a benevolent protector, often fighting his enemies with an axe.
Jean Ferré, à tout à l'heure sur le ring.
News got spread pretty quickly, and he quickly became famous.
After finding success in France, André was booked for a tour in Japan.
Japanese people, I love Japanese people, they're so small and they can believe it to see a big person like myself.
You come out of the hotel, walk down the street, and they run away from him, but they walk on the other side of the street and they just follow him wherever he went. Just mobs following around, just looking at him.
Japan was the first country outside of France where he became a superstar. He adopted the name of Monster Roussimoff. That's when he became truly hated as a heel. During his tour, André gets a medical checkup, and what he learns will change him forever.
Even the doctor, when he saw my size, he asked me if I was using steroids, because some of the tall people, they got some glands and not function too good. That's why they're tall.
It is a condition called acromegaly, and its signs are unmistakable. The protruding forehead, the lantern jaw, the broad nose, and gapped teeth. A Frankenstein syndrome. The condition can be corrected if diagnosed at an early age. André was not diagnosed.
He was told he could be operated on, but he said that God made him that way, and he wasn't going to change that.
I think you better go up the way you're supposed to go up. I use what the God gave me. I'm not supernatural, I just myself. So what God gave me, I use it to make a living.
When I would ask André about the condition that he had, he would just, kind of like a big brother, put it to the side. Don't worry about it, boss. Everything's fine.
I'm just a normal giant.
He's just a normal giant.
But there was more to it.
Internally, the enlarged organs and increased blood sugar levels generally result in a variety of illnesses and often death before the victim's 45th birthday.
So at the age of 24 years old, André learns that he's already lived half his life.
He knew, that he didn't have long to live. So I think that was in the back of his mind, all the time. That's why he drank and just did whatever he wanted to do, just to enjoy what time he had.
I've seen the Giant become emotional with me. Sometimes when he was drinking too much and we were only the two of us, his mood would change, as if he was depressed or something. And then he would cry like a little boy.
He knew from that disease from day one, and he never would say it, but he knew he wasn't going to be 60 years old, bouncing grandkids on his knee.
Despite the news of his condition, André keeps focusing on his career. A Giant arrives in North America.
Montréal, ça a été un petit peu la porte d'entrée du continent nord-américain pour vous, je crois. Hein?
C'est ça. Je suis arrivé en juin 1971.
Je vous présente André le Géant, ou Jean Ferré, vous le connaissez dans la province.
Votre nom, c'est le Grand Ferré en France.
Ouais,
C'était le Grand Ferré.
Mon vrai nom, c'est André le Géant.
André le Géant.
Géant Ferré, c'est moi. Avec 2,14 m de hauteur et 171 kg de muscles.
Le Géant Ferré craint-il ses adversaires?
Aucun.
Le Géant Ferré est-il le plus fort?
Ouais.
After enjoying a first wave of success in Quebec, his popularity starts shrinking. The territory was too small. There just wasn't enough population.
After you see a giant over and over and over, it's almost, you can become accustomed to seeing a giant. That's not good.
André's advised to take his career to the United States. That's when he meets Vincent J. McMahon.
So my dad met with André, and they hit it off really, really well. And my dad started booking André.
McMahon Sr. books André across the nation, marketing him as a once-in-a-lifetime attraction, something too big to miss.
Most people are fascinated with giants. We grow up, reading about Jack and the Beanstalk.
And that is a mighty big boot. It just happens to belong to the gentleman who is my guest at this time. I'm talking about André the Giant. There is not another man in any professional sport as big as this man.
Vince McMahon Sr. was known to reprimand André anytime he took a picture with an athlete who was taller. He wanted to protect the legend of André being the tallest athlete in the world.
When he came once a year, you really look forward to seeing André.
Very happy to come back in San Francisco. I'm so happy to come back in Florida to see all my friends.
Tonight you are in Texas, and tomorrow you may be in Japan.
Maybe next day after that in Australia.
People would see him the first time, and you'd tell your friends, "Oh my God, you got to see this 7'4" giant." the legend grows each and every time. The less you see him, the better.
You have traveled all throughout the world, am I correct?
All over the world. I want to make everybody have the chance to see a giant, and I want to say hello to everybody all day long. I just want to make everybody happy.
But behind the scenes, all that touring was taking its toll on André.
Est-ce que c'est toujours facile que d'être André the Giant, c'est-à-dire faire 7 pieds 4, peser près de 500 livres? Est-ce que c'est toujours facile?
Non, pas toujours, parce que it's difficult everywhere I go, because they don't build anything for big people. They build everything for blind people, for crippled people, for some other people, but not for big people. So we have to fit in there, and it's not too easy all the time.
When he got into a hotel room, the bed was too small, the shower came up to his waistline, his fingers were too big to dial the phone. I mean, the guy went through heck every day, and not once did he ever complain.
Even in the hotel, I can go through the door, I can go to the bathroom, everything is so fun.
Where does he
In the bathtub.
No.
Yeah, he just turn the shower on, man, and let it dissolve it.
Does it ever bother you to be as large as you are? Would you ever sometimes rather be average sized?
No, I don't even think about that.
But his friends told a different story.
Lots of time he said to me, I wish I was your size. I wish I was small, man, just a regular size man, you know. Because he had to be hard on him.
On more than one occasion, he said, I wish I could be you just for a weekend.
The touring lifestyle, though, still had its upsides.
What about girls? Any problems? No problem. Small ones, tall ones?
Andre had lots of girlfriends. Andre had a girlfriend in every town. And when he came back to that town, he could have a different girlfriend.
He had all kinds of women because everybody wanted to be with him, you know, how big he was and everything.
Now, Andre, put your hand up next to mine. Look at this. I have a big hand for a woman. I mean, I have a large glove size.
He didn't know if he'd ever find somebody that could put up with the traveling that he does.
Gene met Andre back in 1974 while doing public relations for wrestling.
It was the first man I had met that I could wear my highest heels around and still look way up that.
Gene and Andre might have only gone one round, but Gene was in for a big surprise.
And then I found out I was pregnant. I was told prior to this happening that he was sterile.
Andre's first reaction was denial. He may have suspected that Gene was trying to get money from him for a child that wasn't his. However, 2 years later, Andre took a paternity test in New York.
At first he didn't believe that I was his daughter because, you know, it's like, I don't know what was going through his mind then, but then, you know, he found out they got a blood test and I think we had the same blood type or something.
After years of asking for child support, Jean and her daughter received an award of $750 a month from a man who was worth millions.
You know, it isn't courts and legal systems, it's people that he set up around himself, the people that lead him by the nose. They're only out for their own, what they can get, and they really don't care about this child, and they really don't care about his personal life or his feelings.
Just the mention of his name is bound to provoke a reaction. The man who's changing the face of American entertainment, whether you like it or not.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to All American Wrestling and a Happy New Year to you all. This is Vince McMahon reporting.
Vince McMahon Jr. buys the company from his father and bets the house on cable TV.
McMahon's vision is to create a truly worldwide pro wrestling franchise.
Andre becomes a crucial part of that strategy.
Most extraordinary athlete of this or any other generation. Without further ado,
ladies and gentlemen, André the Giant. Someone said today that you are the highest paid wrestler in the world. Is that the truth?
Right. Oh, yes. That's in the Guinness Book.
In the Guinness Book of Records?
Yeah.
Yes, as being the highest.
Ladies and gentlemen, how would you like to have an investment like this gentleman that draws 4 million people a year?
Here he is, André the Giant!
how about getting your foot off my shoulder?
Everybody knew who André the Giant was.
Right.
You didn't have to be a wrestling fan. You just had to be alive.
You've become quite a movie star.
The first one was the $6 million Man. Then I played in BJ and the Bear.
Yeah.
Red American Zero, The Fall Guys.
And a new one now, Mickey and Maude.
You are the 8th wonder of the world.
The only undefeated superstar in professional wrestling.
One of these days, unless you retire undefeated, one of these days, someone will defeat you.
Probably someday, I have to say, probably someday somebody gonna beat me.
I've got a man right here that is equal, in fact, he's superior to this big giant here. My man will snuff him up one nostril and blow him out the other.
Anytime you want.
I was kind of like Andre's other half. We wrestled everywhere. K-Stadium was sold out with me and André the Giant.
It's André the Giant and Hulk Hogan tonight. I can't think of a better partner, a better person that'll stand toe-to-toe and fight with me all the way than the big boss, André the Giant.
Understood he was trying to help me, you know, because he saw something in me that kind of like nobody else saw.
Are we ever going to see the day when possibly André the Giant would challenge Hulk Hogan?
I don't want to be the champion, I just want to be the Giant. I just want to be André the Giant.
Yeah, I've flown out of JFK with him to Japan. I don't even know how many times, because we were on a lot of the same tours together. I would walk behind him in the airport. I would hear all the unkind things that people would say, and he could hear them. And it just broke my heart. I felt like, I said, these people don't even know this guy.
It makes me cry to know what that man went through.
What did he go through?
Just people pointing and laughing.
Right.
He couldn't hide from anybody. Wherever he went, he was public. People swarmed to him.
But he told me, he says, you know, boss, sometimes they laugh at me, they point at me. It hurts my feelings. You never think a guy like that would cry, but he would cry.
Pas lourd à porter, comme dit l'autre, de temps à autre, non, enfin, même tout le temps.
There was one place where André could truly find peace.
Il y a des fois, quand j'en ai assez, je me rends chez moi en Caroline du Nord. J'ai acheté une maison en Caroline du Nord. Je reste là. Il n'y a personne qui vient me voir.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites exactement?
Rien. Rien du tout.
He put up a fence all around the ranch so that the hunters couldn't kill the animals. He loved his dogs. He loved his horses. He raised Texas Longhorn.
He told me that it reminded him of France in the little town that he grew up in. He would spend time cutting trees and chopping wood and the type of things that he used to do on his family's farm.
While he sought solitude away from the crowds, he also distanced himself from those who loved him.
Bill McGowan met the girl who could have André wrestling with his conscience.
He's like kind of a stranger in a way. It's like I met him like a couple of times and I know I'll meet him again, at least. And it'll just be like a relationship that doesn't really grow that much.
He has seen her once as an infant. He saw her when she was about 18 months old. He saw her again when she was 4, and he saw her again in November of '91 for 5 minutes.
You know, it's like he's my dad, but he isn't, you know, like he's really never there.
My mom didn't want me raised around wrestling. And from what I understand, my dad didn't really want that either.
He certainly cared for her and took care of her, but because of the situation with the mother, she was never able to come to his ranch or come with him on the road. And he really, really wanted that to happen, to get to know her.
He wanted to be part of her life, but it just didn't work out that way. It hurt him. A lot of things hurt him.
It was the biggest tragedy in André's life, that he had never put his personal life ahead of his career.
He was on the road constantly.
All the time.
It was basically impossible for him to be a full-time parent.
If you're like around, you know, and there's a lot of people with fathers there, and sometimes you wish you had one.
André was unavailable for comment.
In 1985, André's offered a role in The Princess Bride, an adaptation from the novel of the same name.
It's one of the classic fairy tale movies of all time.
The book featured a character called Fezzik. Fezzik was a good person, but very uncomfortable with his differences. And when alone at night in his tent, would also cry about how different he was. It was almost like the fairy tale story of his own life.
And I said, you know, André, this is like a big part, you know, you're gonna be like here for like 15 weeks. He says, I do it, boss, I do it. But he was perfect for the part. He's a giant. It's not like you throw a stick and you hit 50 giants. I mean, you know, you gotta, it's not a heck of a lot to choose. I didn't understand a single word he said.
We face each other as God intended. Sportsmanlike. No tricks, no weapons. Skill against skill alone.
One day he comes to work and I said, André, what did you do last night? And he says, I went to the bar, had a couple of drinks. I said, well, what do you drink? He says, 3 bottles of cognac, 6 bottles of wine. Andre, you must have been drunk. He says, no, I don't get drunk. A little tipsy, but no.
Is it true that you, in one sitting, drank 117 beers?
Yes. One night.
People think, oh, that's the first question they ask me. Hey, do you go drinking with Andre? Wasn't it fun to drink with Andre? And they think it's funny. But in fact, he drank because he was in pain.
At the time, Andre's health was failing him.
I asked him one day, and he explained to me that his spine and his neck and his knees gave him a lot of trouble.
He couldn't even hold me. I had to be hooked up to cables when I'm supposed to fall into his arms. And, 100 pounds, he couldn't. It killed him.
My favorite moment with him, Andre and I were on the boat alone with only the script supervisor.
Hello.
She turned to Andre and she said, have you enjoyed this experience? And he said, oh, yes. She said, tell me how, what have you enjoyed about it? He looked at her and he said, nobody looks at me.
The Princess Bride became a massive cult classic, introducing Andre to a mainstream audience that his wrestling career hadn't before.
My best memory would be when it was right after The Princess Bride came out, and they came to town doing a show, sitting on my dad's lap, and he started quoting the movie to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How many times have you seen that movie?
I used to watch it all the time. I drove my mother crazy watching that movie.
Nothing really materialized after The Princess Bride. What had originally made him so interesting for casting directors, his physical attributes as a giant, were deteriorating. He was walking with a cane and had a severe limp. He also looked at least 10 years older than he actually was.
Andre knew that he wasn't long for the world.
When asked about his future, Andre had a simple answer.
Well, how much longer do you think you'll be wrestling?
I don't know, maybe tonight be my last match with you.
No.
I don't make any plans, so just keep going.
He needed a crazy back surgery, as I recall.
But he was not interested at all. Andre told me, I'm done, boss. When he said done, he meant basically, I'm going to go die. And he was okay with it. And I wasn't. Andre wanted to have a reason to live, not a reason to die.
But McMahon forms a plan to bring Andre back.
Andre, here's what I want to do. I want you to get the operation that you refused to get. And I want you to come back. And I want you to draw the largest crowd that's ever been drawn.
And they would do that by pitting him against Hogan.
So they thought about it, and okay, I'll get the operation. In order to sell tickets, we would sell it as if they had never met.
Hulk Hogan has never been in the ring or met a man bigger than him, stronger than him, taller than him, that weighs more than him, and with a burning will inside more than André the Giant.
Would you please sign on the dotted line, Mr. Rusimov?
Of course, Andre would have to turn heel. There was no way McMahon would have turned Hogan. A babyface versus babyface match wasn't an option. The gentle giant is gone.
You can't believe it? Maybe you'll believe this, Hogan.
He never really wanted to be a heel. He always wanted to be a good guy.
They're talking about it not only here, but all over the world. Heavyweight champion Hulk Hogan to defend his crown against challenger Andre the Giant.
When it comes down to North America, Hulk Hogan is responsible for the popularity.
Oh, that's what you think?
Pardon me?
That's the way you think?
That's the way I think and many other people think. He is the hero to millions of kids. He has his own cartoon show.
Hulk, do you feel you're going to be the crowd's favorite?
I hope I am, because if I'm not, then everything that I've been telling all you people and the kids and everything for the last 3 years didn't mean anything anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WrestleMania 3! And now, the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin!
Andre's back operation was always reported as having taken place just after the Princess Bride shoot and before WrestleMania 3. That said, the operation was almost 4 full months after WrestleMania 3. The promotion had to use a motorized cart to take him to the ring because it was too painful for him to walk long distances.
During the match, it was the first time I realized how bad his back really was. And I told him during the boss, stay close to the ropes, because I knew he couldn't get back up on his own.
Just out of nowhere, he went, Slim! I'm like, what? Slim! I got him to here.
That was fucking insane. How much did he weigh?
550.
550 pounds. Like, look at this. This is insane.
Now both of my biceps are torn.
I hated when Hogan lifted Andre and slammed him because it felt like the end of an era.
There go the losers. Look at Andre, still extremely upset.
WrestleMania 3 was an overwhelming success. Hogan's popularity skyrocketed to records high, while Andre finally got his back surgery.
After his operation, he went on wrestling for several years. It was hard, of course, because it was difficult to get around.
Hogan and Andre would rematch a few times in the years that followed, but by then, the acromegaly was getting the best of Andre.
He had said he would never stop. He wanted to go until the end.
Most matches lasted just under a minute. Fans were not ready for it. He was the Giant, and he was legendary. They felt cheated by the whole scenario.
The eighth wonder of the world, André the Giant. Whoa. André, you have just...
That was not the initial plan that was sold to Andre. He was supposed to lose to Hogan, yes. Then lost a series of matches to put over Ultimate Warrior. Vince kind of left that out. Andre was mad because he felt his legacy was tarnished.
I don't come in the ring to be a loser.
Some athletic commissions had refused to clear Andre. It was becoming unsafe for him to be in the ring.
Andre's body was breaking down. He could not perform.
His knees and his back were succumbing to the weight of his body.
You could see it on his face, the pain he was in. I'd say, boss, you're all right. Don't worry, boss.
When his career was over, he had no value, to himself.
He kind of disappeared off the scene and was spending his time more down in North Carolina, kind of on the shelf.
We're sitting at the table one night and he said, well, Frenchie, if I die, I want to be cremated and put my ashes on the farm. I don't want to go nowhere else. I don't want people to see me after I'm dead. If they want to see me now, you know what I'm saying, when I'm alive. I said, Andre, I will do it, no matter what.
In January 1993, while he's at the ranch, Andre receives the news that his father is sick. Andre had to leave for France as his dad was not feeling well, and he wanted to see him. The Giant arrived with just enough time to see his father at the hospital.
Et quelques jours après que mon frère arrivé, mon père est décédé.
Andre decided to stay to attend the funeral and to be home for his mother's birthday. Andrei Roussimoff was home, and he could finally take some time away from being André the Giant.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue with the matches, I'd like to announce the death of one of my favorite wrestlers and one of the most famous wrestlers of all time, André the Giant. He died this week in Paris, France, after going home to his father's funeral. So with your cooperation, we'd like to have 10 bells from the timekeeper. In silence, please. Thank you. He was a giant among men, and he was a giant of a friend.
Andre died of congestive heart failure 12 days after his dad. He was 46 years old.
We all have regrets in life, but I wish I could have been there with him. Died all alone in a hotel room.
His body was returned to North Carolina, where it was cremated 2 weeks after his death. More than 200 of Andre's friends attended the funeral held at his home.
The funeral program featured a nice poem about a traveler coming home, which was exactly what Andre was.
After a short ceremony, Frenchie rode a horse to spread his friend's ashes on the ranch.
His lawyer liquidated everything, including the ranch. Andre left everything to Robin.
I think he was a good man. I do forgive him for not being there when I wish he would have been, but at the same time, the hurt comes back.
After Andre passed, Robin and Jean went to France to meet with members of Robin's family she had never met before. Everyone was very happy to meet her. Robin now carries on Andre's legacy.
Very interesting to you going to these Comic-Cons and having these people come up to you and tell you about how he's affected their lives. And again, just all the stories and stuff. I mean, that's got to be pretty wild for you, yeah?
For sure.
Very, very surreal. But at the same time, to know that so many people remember him so fondly is actually, it's humbling.
Shortly after Andre's passing, Vince decided to create the WWF Hall of Fame, with Andre as the first inductee.
Aimez-vous ce métier? Au mois de novembre, ça va faire 20 ans que je suis dans la lutte. Si j'aime pas ce métier-là, je crois que...
Qu'est-ce qui vous a apporté ce métier?
From Grenoble, in the French Alps, the eighth wonder of the world, André the Giant.
He lived every single day like it was last. You have so many days on Earth, so use the best of them. Andre was the only man that ever did it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. There's only one other man whose legend stands as tall as André the Giant. A man admired by millions, but feared by even more. That man is Steven Seagal. I've put together a documentary diving deep into his unbelievable story, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. I'll see you there.